Yee, welcome to Barstool Benchmark, presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer. We have Daniel Katz back in the studio. How we doing, Dan?
I feel great.
Yeah,
Everything's going my way.
It's unbelievable. Like ever since Rico's been suspended, everything has gone.
Well, the Badgers were good before that, but Duke losing helps.
It's not even just about basketball right now. You're winning and gambling too.
I'm winning and gambling, and listen. We can get into it, but every opinion that Mr. Bosco has had has been wrong. Alabama is a borderline tournament team at this point, and guess who out west is looking pretty good? Them Ducks that he bailed on. His own fucking team, and he bailed on their asses, and they just completed the L.A. sweep of UCLA and USC over the weekend. So, yeah, things are starting to turn my way.
It really is. I mean, the Oregon beating UCLA.
He officially cashed out on that?
In November.
Just think about it. Oregon's come back. He cashed out of that. Duke stinks. Wisconsin is awesome. Alabama stinks. What has he been right about?
Nothing
I don't want to beat up on him, but I'm just saying
that
everything's starting to turn my way.
Yeah. So Duke loses. We'll lead off the show with that. And Wisconsin wins. Big Cat, your team won this week. My team won this week. Marty?
All right. You know what? Now we're doing a little in the middle, huh?
Big 12. Big week in the Big 12. And Purdue, Illinois had a great Monday game. Plus, we have an interview from Purdue. It is senior guard Sasha Stefanovic. He had one of the best games of his career, the number 4 Boilermakers, 15-2, coming off that big road win at Illinois. So a lot to get to.
Let's get into it.
And here we go.
All right, before we get into today's episode, I'm here to talk to you about High Noon Hard Seltzer. Again, Rico obviously really, really loves them to drink, to throw, to decorate, anything. But they are real vodka, real juice, presented by real people just like us. Again, this Saturday, show me your setups. I want to see all these High Noons. We'll retweet the shit out of you. I know you're listening to this episode because Big Cat was on, so I'm listening. I'm looking at all of you. High Noon Hard Seltzer is the best drink out there. Winter, spring, fall, summer. I don't know why I went in that order, but go get your High Noons. It's just, it won't make you feel like shit. And that's all basically what I look for, and the taste is unbelievable. You don't like one flavor, they got 8 other flavors. So go get your High Noon, the best presenting sponsor out there. All right, right into the episode.
All right, there is only one appropriate way to begin this show, and it starts in Tallahassee, Florida. Upset in the ACC. Florida State 79, number 6 Duke 78 in overtime. Marty, rant, go.
You know what? I want your guys' opinion. So you want my opinion first?
Of course. You're the Duke guy.
Sure.
All right, my opinion first. Okay. We talked about it last night. This is good for the ACC. More bids.
That's your spin zone. I gave it to you.
More bids.
I gave
That's
him
a
the
lie.
spin
So
zone.
already you're making no sense.
Florida State. All right, non-biased actual things. Paolo Banchero should be having the ball. His first shot came in the second half, came with 4 minutes left. Give the guy the ball. Trevor Keel's getting hurt does not help, but he honestly wasn't doing too much during the entire game. Wendell Moore was 5 of 7. He just didn't shoot a lot either. I don't know why our 2 best players were not shooting at all. At the end of the game, no matter what, you give the ball to Banchero. Because what was it, Ohio State? He shot the last one, and it was a kind of a shitty shot. I don't care. It was him. It doesn't matter. I don't understand why. It's like Zion again. It's like, why aren't we giving the ball to the guy who's going to be probably number 1 or 2 in the NBA draft? But the biggest thing, that there's no excuse, offensive rebounds. And rebounding. They couldn't rebound shit. What did they out-rebound
19-7 offensive rebounds.
Which is disgusting.
Oh, that's never happened before. I feel like this is just where time is a flat circle. There's always Duke has got the flash, the sizzle, and then they have one fatal flaw.
But that's the thing where this year, though, they kind of have a big man that can do it, and he just didn't do it yesterday.
Well, Florida State's also always like a tough place to play for Duke, even though I think I saw that there was like Coach K's maybe lost there like 6 or 7 times, which is not a lot. I thought it'd be
40
more.
years or whatever.
Yeah, right. But Florida State's
recent.
always feels like it's a tough place to go and play. They always get up for it, and they do a good job on the glass. Like you can rely on those 2 things. I thought Duke was definitely going to win that game once it got to overtime.
I thought it was
because Florida State just completely, fucked over themselves down the stretch. Like they were up, I don't know what, 7 with like 2 minutes left, and it felt like they were panicking. And womp womp, dude. Like
I took a
the
walk.
ACC's bad. Everyone just beats
no.
each other up. Miami's the best team. Go Canes.
Miami's number one right now.
They're the second best team.
Who's the best?
Duke's the best team.
Oh, okay. What
But-
are they ranked, by the way, Duke? What are they going to be ranked?
They're going to be ranked 10,
Oh, interesting.
12. Miami's not even ranked.
Okay. Yeah,
They will be.
Yeah, it will be, but not more than Duke. But regardless, I'm not worried about Duke yet. I'm a little worried.
Do you think Duke's a national championship team?
Right now, no.
They're still the second
But they're-
most favorite on Barstool
but they
Sportsbook,
should
I
Because
believe.
they're Duke.
You know they
It's
have
like
the
betting on the
you don't-
Cowboys like I
You
did.
really,
Idiot.
you really
Duke's
don't
plus
think
750 behind
they have
Gonzaga.
the talent too.
No, they're choke artists.
No, they're gonna.
The pressure of Coach K's last run is going to just suffocate them to death. That's probably true.
I took a walk last night. A lot of their defense was sloppy. They kind of looked like they gave up, and then all of a sudden, they went on a run. And then the last possession was the stupidest thing in the world. And you know who's a
It's
problem?
good defense.
Joey Baker has been there how long? He still can't score.
I mean, it's Joey Baker.
What do you mean? He's like the captain. He's supposed to be our 3-point shooter. We also cannot shoot threes for shit.
He made 10 threes last night.
I know. That was the only time and when it counted, they couldn't do shit. Every time, the beginning of the second half, what'd they do? Nothing.
Well, let's be real. They're winning this game in regulation, most likely if Trevor Keels doesn't go down. Coach K said it's a calf injury, not a foot or a leg, but we don't know the extent of it yet.
Calf's fine.
Yeah, they shot 43% from 3 last night.
I know. They usually don't, though. They usually are a bad 3-point.
I mean, they're still a very good team. I know they are.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, obviously, I hate Duke so much and I root against them all the time. But I think losing at Florida State is not the end of the world when Florida State is always a tough place to play and they always bring their best game to the Blue Devils. I love Miami on Saturday. Now
Miami, Florida State.
letdown spot. Although Miami's win, going into that game, like speaking about the ACC overall, I thought that was going to be the game where UNC, they're trending upwards. They put it all together. They go into Miami, a tough place, or a tough team to play, I should say right now. They win that game, and everyone's like, all right, North Carolina is
number 2.
the cream of the crop in the ACC. Like, it's going to be Duke UNC, and Miami just blew the doors off.
Yeah, 85-57. Their 27-point halftime deficit, their largest over the last 25 years.
It was gambling wise too. They're +2. I took them, but I thought it was going to be UNC as well. And but Miami, they're fucking really good.
They are really good. Miami fans are convinced they're better than Duke. They beat Duke
At Cameron.
in Cameron.
So,
yeah,
I mean, how could you argue
can't-
against that right now?
Can't, but I think they're just better. That's just as simple as that. They're better than Miami.
Well, they weren't that day.
yeah. And FSU, by the way, crazy stat. They've won 13 overtime games in a row.
Yeah, I saw that because I
That was
tweeted.
wild.
I was like, we're fucked with FSU +5. And people were replying to me. They're like, no, dude, we only win in overtime.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
go overtime.
That's
You're
insane.
good.
Yeah.
It's the longest ever in the sport.
Caleb
13
Mills
straight
at one
overtime
point
wins.
couldn't miss.
Yeah, and freshman John Butler, career high 14 points, game-winning block in the end. And Raekwon Evans, that layup was pretty. That, in regulation.
Yes, high off the glass.
Yes.
Beautiful.
You can't let that happen.
And the game-winning free throws, 12 seconds.
And they deserve credit because one of my biggest issues is always last possessions, guys dribbling it out and falling away for a three-pointer or something. Go make something happen. Like, you either get fouled or you're at the rim. Like, I think the action should always be going towards the rim in those last possessions because you have a chance for a putback. Everyone's getting out of position. People are like switching. People are sliding over. If you're playing in a zone, like I'm always a big fan of someone attacking the rim and trying to make something happen instead of ISO dribble, step back three.
to try and win.
Yeah.
It's risky, too, because they could have extended the game. If they miss that layup, they can't foul. Game's over. With
Yeah.
2 seconds left. They just dribbled it out.
Yeah, although you give yourself 2 seconds left, you give yourself a chance for a putback or something.
Fair.
Like that's I thought that was the perfect last possession. Like that's exactly how I'd want to run. If you gave me down 2, down 1, tie ball game with 10 seconds left, I want my best player going towards the rim and guys crashing the boards behind him. Either you get fouled, you miss, you get a rebound. I mean, it's just you have way more possibilities of something good happening than a step back three or a step back mid range.
Yeah,
Fair.
I agree.
All right, let's move on to the Big Ten.
I gotta say something before that.
Yeah.
Future. I have a team that I'm gonna put a future on tonight.
I put a future. I have 2 futures. Go ahead. You go first. I have great value on my futures.
So, I have one. My only future I actually have right now is Auburn and Duke, but I'm adding one tonight. Tell me, I want to hear your first 2.
Okay, so I have a future on the Badgers, 40-1. Let's see what it is right now.
I
think that's good value. I know
the same.
it might still be the same.
Oh no, 30-1.
All right, so then
Yeah,
it's great value. So I got them at 40-1 a couple weeks ago. I think, if you look at their schedule, they still got some tough games. They got to play Michigan State on Friday night. Also, like going to Rutgers, going to Indiana. There's a few spots there. We'll get to them later, but I think they'll end up with a top 4 seed. So 40-1 for a top 4 seed is pretty good. And then my real value, I took Kentucky 25-1 before the Tennessee game, and now they're already down to 15-1.
Went back to 17 for some reason.
It is 17-1. All
Yeah,
right, so
that's
yeah,
good,
I have Kentucky 25-1, $2,000 on Kentucky, $2,000 on Wisconsin.
Yeah. So
And I think it's going to be a Wisconsin-Kentucky championship game, and I will be there in New Orleans, and it will be incredible.
You'll be happy no matter what.
No, I'll cash out Kentucky and ride Wisconsin. That's
Yeah.
what I'll do.
that's the move. All right.
25-1.
Who?
Texas Tech.
Nah.
Yep.
Final Four.
What do you mean Final Four?
I think they go to the Final Four. I don't know if they can win it all.
I think the way they're playing,
yeah.
a flyer, what they're gonna they handled Iowa State. They beat Kansas without their best player. Shannon's is back. He played yesterday and scored 4 points. Like, they have that defense that can stop and make your team look sloppy. And I'm telling you, that's just a good flyer right there. 25-1.
It's very good value.
I don't hate it just because of their defense. My problem would be just like offensively, do they have enough? Do they have enough to sustain those games where they aren't hitting everything? And I know people would then turn and be like, well, you root for Wisconsin. Like, I do think Johnny Davis is an equalizer in that respect, that like either you have a good, efficient offense or you have a guy who can maybe carry you. Maybe that guy will emerge. So, yeah, I don't hate it.
I would think Shannon Jr. could, like he usually would, but he just came back and needs some time.
It's also a bet on, and we talked about it last week. I think we said SEC is the best conference. I think I'm probably shifting now to the Big 12. It's a bet on the Big 12 being as good as you think it is. And if that's the case, Texas Tech is even better than the market or what we think, because they're playing a tough schedule.
I agree. I think it's changed to Big 12 being the best conference.
Well, it's just crazy what we saw. I mean, Oklahoma State beating Baylor. I know you guys talked about that on Sunday, but like the teams just picking each other off. This is why I love college basketball. This is why when people are like, "Oh, how are you not watching the NBA?" Well, first of all, I watch every Bulls game, but the NBA is like, I love the NBA playoffs. I don't care about game 47 in the middle of January. In college basketball, you have rivalries, and every conference game is hard. Like, every conference game is tough. You're in a war every single night, and that's why it's fun.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the best. And NBA mid-January.
Well, I
couldn't care less.
I'm a big proponent of you can like both. I know people don't. They're like, you have to like one or the other, and there's obviously no question how much better NBA is than college
the quality,
basketball.
of course.
Yeah,
The
right.
quality is better, but the thing is with like you're a Bulls fan, so you watch Bulls. Like I'm not a Knicks fan, so I don't really care. Like I'd rather just watch this chaos and I'll watch the NBA playoffs. I just don't really care.
Right. I think that's exactly right though. Like I don't really care about watching like a random Spurs Nuggets game.
Yeah,
But if you
exactly.
tell me like, oh, Texas Tech has to go play Kansas or Baylor, like anything could happen. It's kind of fun. Yeah.
It's the best. All right, Big Ten talk. We'll start with Monday's game. An awesome noon game on Martin Luther King Day. Number 4 Purdue 96, number 17 Illinois 88. Double OT. We'll hear from Sasha Stefanovic in a little bit. He was the hero in this game. 5 threes. He shut up that crowd, including our coworker Carl, who was courtside.
Yeah, hitting the 3 right in front of Carl in his Illinois shirt is unbelievable. But now with Kofi was in foul trouble the entire game.
Yeah.
He fouled out. Was it the right before overtime? I think he fouled out.
Yeah, kind of fucked them. Yeah.
So is that? a test to them almost, where it's like, and Curbelo looked like
Curbello's
he was
comeback.
back.
He was awesome.
He looked
Yeah.
like he was back. So I don't know.
20 points.
I think Illinois is a team that needs to be talked about more.
I agree. I thought this was one of those games that the loser, I'm like, well, damn, they're really good. Like Illinois is putting it all back together, and they're going to be a very, very tough team to beat down the stretch. Even though, I mean, Purdue's good. We all know Purdue's good. But Illinois, they've had – who did they even lose to this year? They
Arizona,
lost.
Marquette, and Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, those aren't – the
Marquette was
Cincinnati
without
ones
Kofi.
– yeah, and the Cincinnati one's kind of – that probably wasn't Kofi either, right?
No, he was 3 games. I think that was his first game.
Either way, yeah, he played in that game. Illinois is a very, very good team, and I walked away from it being like, man, that was like a coin flip game that they could have won.
It was.
Should have won.
Purdue's defense kind of stinks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's their biggest flaw, because obviously with Ivy and Edey and Williams, they're fine, but
Yeah, number 1 offense, number 65 defense.
yeah.
Kind of like vibes of Iowa last season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but their defense was maybe like 150.
Yeah,
Theirs
that
was
was
bad.
defense last year. But yeah, with Illinois, they've proven they can do well without stars. Remember last year they went a little bit of a streak without Io. He came back with the mask. Kofi obviously suspended to enter the season. And here down the stretch, the fact that they pushed us to double overtime without him says a lot, and a big reason for that. Breakout game for Benjamin Bozeman's Verdonk.
Dude, Verdonk,
Crazy name, and he was all over the place.
Drop him in Verdansk, that guy. He can't shoot free throws for fucking
He's 30%.
I mean, he's bad, but he was all over the place. Did you see that one play where he was like a wide open layup and he just refused to shoot it? It was awesome. But he was a spark plug.
Yeah, Illinois started 12 of 12 from the free throw line. They missed 3 in a row in double overtime, so their magic eventually fell out. Curbelo, we mentioned his first game back from injury. 0 turnovers in 26 minutes prior to this game. 16 turnovers in 89 minutes this season.
Yeah, it's been talked about that he's the guy from Coach Carter, right? The guy who like leaves and comes back like his brother. Someone died. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The Afro
No.
guy from Coach Carter.
No.
Come on now. You watch Coach Carter?
No.
No, I've never seen it.
You guys never seen Coach
What's
Carter?
Coach Carter?
It's a movie. I've heard of it.
Who's the main? Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
You'd love that show.
It's a movie. Stop saying show.
It's a film.
All right, I'll watch it.
All right, well, that theory goes away. But he looks exactly like the character from
Sick
Carter.
reference.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
I'm sure some listeners will.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
you'll get credit for it. You'll get credit for it.
Maybe.
Yeah. So Purdue, big win on the road. Illinois, much more of a factor than we initially thought in the preseason in the Big Ten. So now that's the question as we move on to Big Cat, your game. Is it Purdue or Wisconsin as the favorite in the Big Ten right now? Wisconsin with a nice road win at Northwestern.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I've been like waiting for Wisconsin to trip up, and they just won't. And I'm now like, you can't. I think even Bosco, who is suspended, we're not allowed to talk about him, has maybe even turned his opinion. Like, they went to Northwestern. That's a spot where we usually struggle. Like, both football and basketball, good Badger teams, just for some reason, there's just voodoo magic in Evanston that fucks us up. And we won. And we won with all starters scoring double digits. Like, that, there goes that argument.
It was
It's
balanced.
just the Johnny Davis show.
It was balanced.
So, yeah, there's some big games coming up. Michigan State on Friday night. They're still going to, lose a handful of games here just because it's a gauntlet to run through the Big Ten. But you can't sit here and watch them play and be like, they're not good. They're a good team. Purdue might have more top-end talent. I'm fine with saying that. But Wisconsin can beat anyone on any night. And the best part about them is they just don't. They haven't had those like that very bad off night against an inferior opponent. Like the Maryland game looked like a trap spot off of the Iowa and Purdue win, where I think they were maybe a 1-point favorite on the road. Mm-hmm. Last night, off of beating Ohio State, like that looks like a trap spot. They're only a 2-point favorite. So they just constantly get off the mat and show up for these games.
But we were talking about yesterday where gambling brain too yesterday, what, -2?
Yeah.
At there, and then +1 at Maryland, and then beating Ohio State. You literally can't say anything about them. They just keep winning, and they're a really good basketball team.
Yeah.
And Johnny Davis's half-court buzzer beater for halftime
That was sick. That was sick.
Yeah,
So
that was crazy.
I'm very, very excited. It's fun when they're in the mix, and I'm excited about why. Like, I love watching this team.
If they beat Michigan State Friday, we're talking about reaching out to Johnny Davis or Brad Davis. And
Oh,
come
there
on
you
the
go.
show.
Okay.
So.
Brad would come on anytime you want.
Yeah.
So that's a guarantee. Yeah, Michigan State Friday night will be very interesting because, like, if they win that game, now we're talking, I don't know, where would they be ranked? They would probably be like 6.
Well, Duke already lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Auburn could lose this weekend. They've got a Kentucky game, which is probably the game of the weekend.
That is the
That's
game of the
awesome.
weekend.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that game.
So
yeah, Duke lost. Yeah, Auburn and Kentucky will be a very tight game. So yeah,
They could go 5 or 6.
yeah, if they beat Michigan State on Friday
and then we
night.
enter is Wisconsin a 1 seed?
I mean,
which is crazy.
It's insane how wrong you've been, Jake.
It's crazy.
Insane.
No, how wrong I was preseason.
No,
right
you-
when they started
you've
playing
been,
well.
You've been wrong.
You can't.
No,
You're
wrong.
not allowed to be right when they start playing.
Yeah, the
No,
whole
I was
point,
wrong. My preseason
No, you were just
prediction
wrong.
was
Yeah,
wrong.
you were wrong.
You're just
You,
wrong.
you didn't have them in the tournament.
Like, I could
Right.
sit here and say I'm never wrong when I right now fucking Baylor's not playing that well.
No, I admitted.
Imagine
my
if they
preseason
get a 1
prediction
seed and you
was
didn't even
wrong.
have them. Poof, there goes your bracketology career.
Yeah, true.
I tried it out for 1 season. Maybe it's
Yeah,
not for me.
bracketology
I'll
is
stick to the
done, so
booth
if they're a
then.
1 seed.
I'll stick to the booth. I'll leave it to Lenardi. Before we continue, we want to remind you that this podcast, the Barstool Bench Mob, is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We talk about BetterHelp a lot on this show, and this month,
Jake, say it. Our guy needs it.
Fair.
You gotta say it.
yeah,
Hell,
he could
I mean,
certainly use it.
It's not even a joke. It's like
right.
my biggest thing here when we work at Barstool. This is one of our best ads because we live in a fake world, and
Online, you're saying?
online people are coming at you. All this. It doesn't hurt to talk to someone. It really doesn't. As a guy, for some reason, there's a stigma.
There's
of being
nothing
like,
wrong with it.
Swallow your feelings as you're a guy, whatever. Fuck that. Talk to BetterHelp and people do use it here. It's a great way to help out with your feelings.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot on this show, and this month we're discussing some of the stigmas around mental health. For example, some people think you should wait until things are unbearable to go to therapy, but that isn't true. Therapy is a tool to utilize before things get worse, and it can help you avoid those lows. Many people think therapy is for quote-unquote crazy people, but therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you recognize that all humans have emotions, and we need to learn to control them, not avoid them. And we've been taught that mental health shouldn't be a part of normal life, but that's wrong too. We take care of our bodies with the gym, the doctor, and nutrition. We should be focusing on our minds just as much. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/bench. That's BetterHelp.com/bench. All right, Big 12 time. We touched on Texas Tech a bit earlier in the show, but we'll hit on that game because it was a ranked team versus a ranked team. Number 18, Texas Tech, 72. Number 15, Iowa State, 60. So Texas Tech, they lost over the weekend. It was a letdown spot after beating Baylor at Kansas State. But now, suddenly, as we jumble all these Big 12 games together, that Kansas State loss doesn't look so bad because Kansas State just beat Texas on the road. So
Yeah.
we thought it was a fluke maybe, but maybe it's just a better team than we thought.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like the entire conference has they don't have like that one whipping boy. There's no, this is going to hurt, but there's no Nebraska. There's no, Pitt. Although didn't Pitt just beat
Louisville.
Yeah, right. Like that shit makes no sense. But yeah, anyone can get up for any game. I do think Big 12, like watching all these teams, the emergence of Texas Tech being a legitimate, like deep run team, that gives like they have 3, and if you want to say Texas, 4 really quality teams at the top, and the Oklahomas are good, not great but good. Like Oklahoma almost beat Kansas,
Right.
So it's a tough conference.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is deep though too. I think they have a sturdy 7-man rotation, and with Shannon and McCullough back, and Shannon McCullough this game didn't play well, and
Right.
and then O'Banner finally showed up, and we thought he was gonna whoever his manager or whoever his agent was good for him, but he played great. I think they have enough guys to pick each other up when those top two guys are down. What's their defense?
Their defense is number 2 in the country.
Yeah, so it's like they make your team seem like you just can't score
They
for shit. It's
shot
disgusting.
3 of 16 from 3 in this game and won this game easily.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. They're a force on defense. They make your plan just look like shit every time.
Right. Last 5 games, points allowed: 67, 62, 57, 62, 60.
Yeah,
It's
wow.
just so consistent, so good. Did you guys see the video of when the PA announcer announced the Texas-Kansas State final score in Lubbock? It was the loudest the arena was all night because they just want Chris Beard to fail
Yes,
game in
absolutely.
and game out.
Yes.
February 1st, so 2 weeks from now, is Beard's return. That's going to be something.
I'm going to call my shot real quick because this comes out tomorrow. I love TCU tonight. TCU +5. There you go. That's my spot of the night.
All right.
TCU
This could look really stupid.
TCU at Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State can't make the tournament, obviously. They just beat Baylor. That's like a big, on a Saturday. They go home, they party,
I love
everything.
Yeah.
I just think that's going to be a tight game.
Iowa State, meanwhile, they've lost 3 of 4. They have a soft schedule. TCU, Oklahoma State, Missouri next. But whatever happens to them, it's house money, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They won 2 games last year.
Yeah, they're completely.
The fact that they're probably making the tournament as a 6
Well,
seed or higher.
and they beat Texas on Saturday. That's a good
Right.
win. So, yeah.
Texas, I mean,
They
Jesus
beat
Christ.
Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Texas.
They
No,
split
they
with
lost to Texas. Oh, they
split.
beat.
They
Yeah, they
split.
split
Yeah,
them. Yep.
sorry.
Kansas
Yep.
State beating Texas
Yeah,
yesterday
so
is insane.
Texas, they have to be the most disappointing team in the
That's
country.
like last year, right? Last
Yeah.
year they were like the best team in the world for like a week and a half. It was like, nope, they suck.
And they have the
Yeah.
talent. It's just they're just not meshing at all.
It's crazy. I mean,
meant
them,
to-
Michigan were like 2 of the. Michigan was my pick to win it
At least
all.
Michigan won.
Oh,
I think I'm out of the
Yikes.
prediction
Yikes.
department.
Yikes.
So last season I
So
was down the
Michigan
middle.
was a 1 seed?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
man.
Last season, I didn't make enough predictions on the show, and Marty got on me, and now I'm getting into it a little bit. and
No,
it's just
predictions
backfiring.
are fun, though.
That's the
it's
only
fun to
thing
be
I
wrong.
like. And then when you're right, though, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great.
Like
Yeah,
Auburn
Marty on
being
Auburn.
good. Oh my God, I
Great.
feel so smart. Speaking of Auburn, I don't really care about the rankings this early, but don't you think it was stupid what happened with that? Did you see what happened?
No.
Oh, that was my love-hate. Save it.
Okay,
All
save
right,
it.
I'll
Save
save
it.
it,
Save
save it,
it.
save it.
Save it.
Yeah, so Texas loses to Kansas State. First road win for Kansas State against a ranked team in 3 years. Texas, I don't think they're on the bubble yet, but I don't know. They're 500 in conference.
They're not on the bubble yet, but it's
They don't
close.
really have any good
figure it out.
wins.
There,
It's close.
you would put Texas. There's 3 teams you throw in the same pile. It's Texas, Michigan, and Alabama.
Yeah.
Where it's like if you had me bet my life, will they make the tournament? I'd say yes. But one of those 3 teams probably won't make the tournament.
Yeah, Michigan's got the
Right.
most work.
Yeah,
but
like you know what I mean. The
no,
teams
you
that everyone
say
was
it.
very high on, and they've struggled here for a decent stretch.
Yeah.
How do you feel that every time these tough losses happen, you're the reason why they're tweeting it out?
I mean, I feel good.
Yeah,
People
I
don't
like
own
it.
it.
I know, I like it.
Dude, when I lose, I own it. You
Yeah,
gotta
you
own
gotta
it.
own
You gotta
it.
eat shit.
Absolutely.
It makes the highs way higher too. Like
It does.
when you win, it's the best. When you lose, it sucks. But you have to fucking eat that shit.
Absolutely. Which is why I tweet out the Bart Simpson gif every time they lose.
Every time.
I was wrong.
Every time.
Teams that aren't struggling in the Big 12, Kansas and Baylor, they both take care of business. Kansas 67, Oklahoma 64. Ochai Agbaji, he injured his wrist for a little bit, came back in, and scored all 10 points in the final 5:30 of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Now it was a seesaw battle. Like Kansas had it in hand, and then Oklahoma came back and had an unbelievable run, and then Kansas finished with the run. Like it was a very good game. I had that one on.
Yeah, and Christian Brown, his shooting was nice. I don't know, Kansas, I feel like we're talking about how Kentucky and Duke and the Blue Bloods, I feel like Kansas, no one's really talking about them as much.
No, they're good.
Yeah,
There was a national champion contender.
they're definitely good. I mean, winning that game close in Oklahoma is tough, no matter
Yeah.
what. And they were kind of handling them pretty early, I think, right? I was switching.
They
back.
were up
2 at
in
the half.
the second half.
They went up
though,
10.
Yeah, they started
Yeah.
the second half hot, and it felt like it was going to be a cakewalk, and then
they started to come
Yes.
back. Fucking Jordan Goldwire, man. I hate that
15
prick.
points.
That prick couldn't shoot a free throw last year, and now all of a sudden they're talking about, oh, he's the guy on this team, so it's great. He had to deal with Zion and all this shit, and it's like, shut up. He sucked. He's good at defense. That's it. And then he He played really good yesterday.
15.
Yeah, no, I think Kansas definitely has a profile that can take them very deep in the tournament. I mean, they're good on offense. They play good enough defense. What was it last year, the year before, where they were like lights out defensively? So
yeah.
I
2
always
years,
like
2020, 8 offense, 2 defense.
Right. So I think they could probably improve on their. You know what I mean? Like they're already good defensive team.
Right now it's 5-33.
They could get they could get better. So there's room for improvement there. So yeah, I'm definitely
and keep in mind,
bullish on
they're
Kansas.
15-2. One of their 2 losses is that crazy fluke to Dayton.
Right.
Triple boink
Yep.
or doink, whatever.
I'm very bullish on Kansas.
Yeah. Oklahoma, meanwhile, they've lost 3 of 4. 4 of 5, 3 in a row, 4 of 5. I don't know. They seem like they're going to be like an 8 or 9 seed and probably lose in the second round.
Yeah, they needed that game last night. They had it too.
They have Baylor at home Saturday.
Yeah.
They need that one.
They need that one badly.
They need that one.
Speaking of Baylor, number 5 Baylor 77, West Virginia 68. Baylor was shorthanded. No James Akinjo, no Sohan, but no problem. They needed this one really, really badly. They couldn't lose 3 in a row after starting undefeated.
Fuck this game. I had West Virginia. Matthew Mayer just kept on whapping threes.
Yeah, he really did.
Constant.
He
constant.
really did.
Yeah.
It was like the last 3 minutes of that game, 5 minutes of that game was West Virginia like getting it in the low post and missing a layup, and then Matthew Mayer hitting a 3.
Yeah.
It's driving me nuts.
Career high 20 points for him. 2 guys who each made 5 threes. I don't know what it is, but this whole season, it feels like West Virginia's just missing something. They have a good record, but they don't have a good win. They lost Deuce McBride last year.
I think they're an ad team.
Yeah.
Like they'll make the tournament, but like you don't expect much.
I don't expect much from them, but they're 13-4. I mean, you got to give them some credit, but they're not.
They have a win over UConn. That's pretty much it.
Does Flo Thamba piss you off?
What about him?
He scores 4 points every single game, it seems like. And
I think his name gives him a little bit more of a leash.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Flo Thamba should be fucking dunking on everybody. He just he plays 20 minutes and scores 4 points. That's what he does.
It's just
Their resume is going to struggle though because they don't have a
UConn.
ton of That's their best win right now.
And UAB is a better win than you would think. Marty's going to get worked up over that just because they're not in the Power 5.
Yeah, but it's they got some work to do. They got to win. They got to pick off one of these big boys at some point.
Big stretch. Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Baylor, Texas Tech, Iowa State.
That is a big stretch.
They have to go like 500 in those next 6 games.
I was going to say at least 2.
2-4, 3-3 at minimum. So the Big 12, I think we're all in agreement. Number 1 conference in college basketball right now. Some great games yesterday. All right, let's get to our interview with Purdue's Sasha Stefanovic, of course, on fire at Illinois earlier this week. And he jumped on the Barstool bench mob to talk about that game and Purdue basketball. So here he is, Purdue's Sasha Stefanovic. All right, we want to welcome on a very special guest. It is Purdue senior guard Sasha Stefanovic, the Boilermakers 15-2, the number 4 team in the country coming off that huge road win on Monday at Illinois. And let's start off with that, Sasha. You were the hot hand in that game. It felt like you could not miss. What is that feeling like when you put that ball up from 3 and it goes in 5 times?
Yeah, it's definitely a great feeling. Obviously, going into a hard place to play like that with their fans and the team that they have this year is it's an awesome feeling. So I was able to hit some big threes down the stretch, especially in that second half, and I hit a big one in the second overtime. So. They're a great team, and obviously anytime you could come out with a win on the road in the Big Ten, it's important for us.
Thanks, Jake, for asking me how I felt when he was hitting the threes, because hypothetically, I had Illinois -1, and I just see Sasha fucking whapping threes in my face in overtime. I feel like we're friends now. I might have called you motherfucker absolutely. Like 45 times during the game, but hey, you played a great game. What am I going to do?
Marty, that's absolutely fine, man. I get you. I feel you, man.
You know what? Your question I had during the game, it popped in my head. I'm like, I don't think you're obviously an unbelievable shooter. I haven't seen many really good. I don't know how you shoot with an undershirt on.
Oh, no, I'm a big T-shirt guy. There's been maybe like a handful of games within my life that I've never worn a T-shirt. And I'm fully on that train. Like some of my favorite players, like growing up in college basketball, man, like seeing the dudes with the baggy jerseys and like like one of my favorite players ever is like Doug McDermott, and seeing him in college just kill dudes with, looking like a slob out there with a big T-shirt, big
I
elbow
like that.
pad.
Then
I love it.
I like that.
Yeah,
Then
I love
like
it.
it's like it. I almost like it more too. It's more as like noticeable of like, and you have that baggy shirt on you. It's almost like a superstitious thing now too, right?
If you see me wearing a tank top or nothing under, like something's wrong.
off.
Something's weird. Yeah, I'm always wearing it.
So what is the thrill of winning a Big Ten road game like? Just shutting up the crowd, a rowdy student section, and then they're silent because of what you did on the court.
Yeah, it's one of like the coolest feelings. Like obviously growing up and being in the basketball world and everything, it's like, you dream of the moments where you're hitting a big shot against a rival or you're going into a place like Illinois and beating them on their home floor. Like we get to, we're fortunate enough to play in like the Big Ten ACC Challenge. So going into some place like that, whoever we play and hitting big shots and winning on the road, it's like, it's one of the most unique feelings you can have as a basketball player. And it's so exciting when everything kind of clicks at the same time and you're able to get it done on the road.
So going into this year, I mean, all I heard was Purdue this, Purdue that. You got so many people coming back. You're 6'5", you're small on that team because Edie's like 7'5". I would love you if you can maybe send me a DM. I like to ask how these tall guys take shits. I mean, I don't understand how they fit on the toilet. It just makes zero sense to me. His legs gotta be like if he stands up to wipe, everyone's gonna see him. I don't know, but
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
But with on a serious note, like was a lot of pressure on you guys because everyone's like, there's so much hype around Purdue. You guys were one for a little bit. Like everyone, how do you guys been dealing with that?
Yeah, it's definitely a different position than we have been in before. But we've been put in positions where my freshman year, for example, like we won the Big Ten championship, we made it to the Elite Eight. We didn't have a lot of expectations, so it's you feel almost more comfortable being the underdog. And now it's my senior year, and it's kind of the flip. We have a lot of people wanting to beat us every single game, so you're going to always get everybody's best shot. It's kind of a cliche when people say that, but it really is true. Like no matter where we go, no matter who we play, like everybody in the Big Ten is competitive. So whoever you're going to play, it's going to be competitive. You're going to get their best shot. So it's one of those things that's like, you just got to remain like humble. Like when people get on us, we've lost 2 times, and when we lost both of those games, it's like we have a lot of people saying like, oh, we're not going to make it to the Sweet 16, we're not going to make it this, that, like we shouldn't even be ranked. Like, but then when we win close games, it's like we can't listen to that stuff either. So it's like you take the good and the bad, and it is what it is, and you kind of just have to like you see things that people are saying and just take it for what it is and just move on.
And one of those 2 losses coming on a half-court buzzer beater on the road, God forbid that happens. It's like, what are you going to do? It's a crazy shot.
I mean, I do it all the time, too. I'll call a team dog shit right away. I'll say it. But I know you're not.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and in that game, in both of our losses, like we did not play well. So I get when people say that, and we are not up to the expectations that we want to be at. Mm-hmm. And when things like that happen, it's just like, you just gotta like go back to the well, work on the things that you are struggling with, and just kind of like tune everybody else out, whether you're winning or you're losing. It doesn't really matter.
Right. So on that topic, Purdue, from a broader perspective, hasn't gone to the Final Four since 1980. There's a lot of talk about Coach Painter getting to his Final Four in terms of getting to an elite coach status. What would a Final Four or even a national championship mean for this core group of you and your teammates, plus Coach Painter and the program overall?
Oh yeah, it'd be massive. I think that's obviously our goal. We write down our team goals every single year going into the season and what we want to accomplish, collectively, and that's always one of our first goals. It's, win a Big Ten championship, win a Big Ten tournament championship, make the Final Four, win a national championship is really, our main core goals. And I really do feel like we have the guys and the talent and the roster to do it. It's just, it's really tough. Like, it's a really hard thing to do. Obviously, it's, like you said, we haven't been there since 1980, and we're hoping to be the first one to do that since then. But Coach Painter's an unbelievable coach. I think you guys have kind of seen, like, the X's and O's of what he does and the stuff that and he runs, but he's just a great guy. So, out of all the coaches in the country, I'm obviously biased, but I would love to see him finally get over that hump and get to the Final Four and lead this great university to a national title,
So I wanted to ask, do you know who Carl is?
Yeah, I hit that three right in front of me.
I was going to say, bro.
I'm a huge I love the Barstool Chicago guys. So I listen to every red line, every dog walk, and I saw Carl. I really wanted to go up to Carl after the game and be like, dude, I'm a big fan, but I think he was talking major trash to me during the game. So
Carl was courtside for those who don't know at the Illinois game on Monday.
Bro, we're watching the game at work yesterday, and we saw Carl on the right where you shot all your threes pretty much, and he's going nuts. I'm like, bro, that he had to be saying so much crazy shit, and you just whap it in front of his face.
Somebody wants to send us the call and just be like, dude, I'm sorry. I really wanted to say hi. I'm a huge fan. I was like, man, I was probably talking to him too. So
That's
I don't know.
That's even better. And the dog walks. I mean, Red Ed is a real thing. That guy fucking banned me. He banned me from the dog walk from taking.
That's right.
For taking rice balls in the appetizer draft. Wow. Rice balls are
dude,
fantastic.
Favorite drafts too. Marty, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of agree with him though on that one.
Oh no!
You thought I was gonna?
I thought you were about to say me.
Nah, I don't know, dude. I'm kind of with them on that. I ride for my Chicago guys.
That's fucking.
By the way, I am a dog walk champion. Been on once. Won the March Madness version a year ago.
That's
I won two. All right.
I remember I was listening. Yeah.
I won the carnival draft.
All right, fair enough. So you're a senior right now, 5th year, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm sure you have aspirations after Purdue to play more basketball. If not, how about media? Because I know you have your own podcast, Sasha Live. What's going on with that?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I actually have my other one here coming up later tonight. But I don't know. It's something that I never really thought I would be into, talking about basketball or just talking about things in general. But I actually really enjoy it. So I got a chance this year. Like you said, on my senior year to go to the Big Ten Media Day. And I really found myself enjoying that media side, just talking about basketball in general, just meeting new people and, people in the space of basketball and media combined. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it. And this opportunity came up with the whole NIL rules passing where I'm able to kind of, make some money, do this it's a live podcast here in West Lafayette at a pizza place called Mad Mushroom. So, fans are able to come, they could watch it live, and then I'm able to autographs and do pictures and stuff after. But it's a really cool thing. I really enjoyed it, and it's something that I never really thought I would. So it's been a cool thing so far.
That's awesome. And in terms of hobbies, I read that you're a big ping pong player. How good are you?
Not the best in the office, man. But
that was what I was going to ask. Yes.
Yeah, not the best in the office. No, but me and my brother, we grew up with the ping pong table, so we were always playing in our basement whenever it was cold in Indiana. So we were always down there. I'm a big golfer as well, so you get as much as I can. But those are the two main things that I really like to play and enjoy.
So I'm gonna insult your conference real quick. Okay, I'm a big hater of the Big Ten. I am. I always say right now I've said Purdue and there's someone else I keep saying that I think is on the top, and then they all just beat the shit out of each other.
Illinois?
No, I fucked them too.
Wisconsin, Michigan State,
Michigan State, who's been not talked about too enough. But in being serious though, you guys do have kind of a gauntlet sometimes you go through, right? Especially with the big men, Michigan's struggling right now, but with playing Dickinson and then everyone else, you guys do beat up on each other. But do you feel like when you get into a stretch, it's oh Jesus Christ, it just doesn't stop?
Yeah, 100%. We're kind of in one right now, stretch that we have, the games that we've had coming up, but. It's tough, man. You're right. Like I said, every single game that you play, you're going to get a tough opponent. No matter winning on the road, we talk about all the time, is so hard. It's just a hard thing. No matter what, it's always a great environment, especially in the Big Ten. Fans really show up. They always have a lot of support. So everybody knows everybody so well that it's just always such a physical, tough game. Like our game yesterday against Illinois was just like physicality the whole time, like as tough as you can. Box outs are hard, like just guarding people. It is tough, and we do beat up on each other a lot. And sometimes I guess like the records and everything like that kind of like it kind of hurts us in a way. Like I know what you mean, but it's honestly I wouldn't have it any other way. I think the Big Ten season really prepares us for what we're going to see in the postseason. It's obviously different styles than obviously like ACC or SEC. They're more up and down, kind of press you and everything like that. But from a technical standpoint, like learning fundamentals on the defensive end and like locking in on scouting reports and personnel wise, I think it really prepares us for what we're going to see in the postseason.
I think what he said is right too, where it's like that's why we see so many of these teams beat up on each other, because they just know each other that well. Where they play twice a year, where it's like football, it's like totally different when you play on the road, and it's like this. Like that is true. I don't know why I never.
And we have so many old guys in our conference that are just like like yesterday, like Trent Frazier, Brad Davison, like myself, like Jordan Bohannon. Like we got guys that like have been in the Big Ten for a long time, and we're all familiar with one another. We know what the other team's going to run before they know what they're going to run. So you just get familiar with people, and that's kind of why everything just seems close and everybody's always competitive.
And in terms of the bigs that Marty talked about, that's where I think one thing your team, Purdue, has an advantage, because you think of the nucleus of Illinois, Kofi Coburn, Michigan, Hunter Dickinson, Indiana, Trace Jackson Davis. You guys have the benefit of Travion Williams and Zach Edey, or it's two bigs who can be elite. So how does that help you guys in games in the paint?
Yeah, it's just they work in such a good like team, like a tandem, like that. With one of them's not playing well or foul trouble or whatever it may be, the other one comes in and they're dominant. And obviously you guys have seen how both of them have been super successful this year in their own ways. And I think Travion adds such a different dynamic because he's able to dribble the ball. He's such a good. I think he's the best big man passer in the country. His ability to make post hooks. And just get everybody else involved. He's so good in double teams as well. If people wanted to double him in the post, he's so good at passing out of them. And then Zach is obviously just a beast. I mean, 7'4", 300. It's really hard to guard him.
The refs don't know how to call fouls on him or against him. They really don't, because there's like he's just so big. They don't really know how to do it.
Yeah, and that was kind of the problem a few years ago when we had Isaac Haas, because he was he was the same exact
that fucking guy. Is that the? That's not the hair flipper, is it? That's the hair flipper.
That's Matt. That's Matt Harms.
Yeah, they're the same person. They're the same exact person.
But Isaac, it's the same way. It's like the same thing that you talked about. Like they didn't know how to ref him because he was just so much bigger than people. So when he would turn and he's elbowing people, he's really not. He's just turning into people. Yeah. So Zach kind of has that similar problem where he's just going and he's going in his hook shot and their faces are right there. So yeah, it's kind of different, but he's done a good job of just kind of adapting to the ways that people ref and guard him, and he's been really successful so far.
But don't you agree with Purdue, right? I think they have the two big men, obviously. Jaden Ivey they have as their guard, and they have him, Stefanovic, where I'm not going to say your name ever again. By the way, I just tried to say it. I didn't even want to come out. I was like Stefanovic.
I practiced like 10 times before this interview. Looked up your game notes just to make sure.
No
Can't
chance.
Mess it up.
I'll call you. I'll just call you Carl. All right. But like they have the winning, because all these other teams like Illinois has Kofi, but like Curbello's there. I guess they're next guy up, but it's just I don't know. They have the recipe to win in the Big Ten.
No, 100%. All right, we got one last question for you, and I need true honesty here. Okay, I'm gonna say 2 words, and you're gonna tell me the first thing that comes to mind when I say these 2 words. Ready?
Okay. All right.
Indiana Hoosiers.
Good basketball program.
I like that. That's smart.
Yeah, we've got the rivalry Thursday night.
Yeah.
It's all anyone's been talking about. We had our producer Dukes tweet out top 5 rivalries in college basketball. People were furious that IU Purdue wasn't number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What makes that rivalry what it is in the Hoosier State?
I think I'm with them. I think it needs to be all 5 of them. But no, it's unbelievable. It's honestly being in like I talked about, growing up like these, and I grew up in Indiana, so like growing up in Indiana, like these are the things that you used to watch and used to be glued in on your TV for. And now being a part of it in my 5th year, it's unbelievable. It's honestly everything I could have asked for. And, going into assembly, it's a madhouse. Like, it's unbelievable. One of my favorite places to play just because of their environment, the fans, and how they bring it to us. And, you're going to get a hostile environment. So it's been really fun. We've obviously had some success here lately, but, they're super talented. I have a lot of respect for them. Trace Jackson Davis is an unbelievable player, and Coach Woodson, obviously, I have a lot of respect for in the basketball community. Just one of the, great minds in this sport. So they have a lot of other guys that have really stepped up this year. So it's going to be a great game. I'm really excited for it, and it's going to be cool to be a part of again.
I got last question, a serious question. Would you rather get stung by 300 bees a year, but you don't know when it's coming? 300. Or every time you step outside for 3 years, a fly is buzzing around your face?
This is what you guys talk about in the office?
Yeah. It's the only thing I think about all day.
Say the bees one again?
So you get stung by 300 bees every year. Let's say 200, 300 a lot. 200 bees a year, but you don't know.
Do that. No, I take the fly. I take the fly all day.
I think so too, and especially like you got a family party you don't feel like going to, or like your girlfriend you don't feel like going to see her. I got that fly thing. I don't want people to think like I don't want to upset anyone.
Yeah, can't make it. Sorry.
Can't be there.
I agree. No way. I couldn't do the bees, man. I got stung twice in my life, and I thought I was dying. So
bro, that shit hurts. People that's
call horrible,
you
man.
People call you a pussy if you get hurt over it. I'm like, bro, that shit hurts. People don't talk about bees dying too when you get stung.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah. All right, that's Sasha Stefanovic from Purdue. Sasha, good luck the rest of the season, especially in the rivalry game against Indiana on Thursday. And we'll be watching the rest of the way. We appreciate it.
Thanks, fellas. Big fan.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, that was Sasha Stefanovic from Purdue. Marty, he's a great player, but I think it's also cool when our guests are stoolies and they know what goes on inside these walls.
Again, I've always thought about this because, like, I watch the games now in a different lens, I think, because I'm like, oh, I know this guy. And it's like when I used to be, even they've always, like, obviously when I was 2 years ago, whatever, 3 years ago when I wasn't here, I'm like, oh, this is so cool to watch these guys. Like, oh, like Dickinson now. It's like,
right.
Oh, these are just, like, they know us. We know them. And he was awesome. That interview is cool when they know what's going on. Like, he's listening to my fucking dog walk and whapping threes in front of Carl. Like, that's just funny as shit. And, he was awesome. And he was, you could tell he's a senior, the way he was answering questions.
Yeah,
like, he was
very
loose.
polished.
He's like, I know, I've been around the block. I know what's going on.
100%. If he's ever in the office, we'd love to play him in ping pong, but he admitted he might not be as good as me. No big deal. And also, I think we had him on at a perfect time, not only because he had one of the best games of his career, but tonight, Purdue, Indiana, rivalry game, Assembly Hall. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a great game.
Yeah. All right, so big thanks to Sasha Stefanovic for coming on the show. Now let's move on. All right, so Truebill. Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam out to get you.
You sound like an actual infomercial right now. You know why you need Truebill?
You got to get the people's attention. It's a great idea. Listen to this, folks. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download Truebill to take control of your subscriptions. Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. Marty, we talked about the Planet Fitness saga the last episode. It's just an amazing concept.
No, Truebill is made for lazy people like us, myself. If I'm locked into something, I ain't getting out because I just don't feel like going through the trouble of calling them or doing whatever. It is literally the smartest thing I've ever heard. I was going on TikTok and I didn't even realize I was watching an ad because it's like, oh, this is the Excel spreadsheet of everything you have. We're going to X this out because you don't use it. X this out. It's like, oh, I'm going to save a ton of money. So Truebill, good for you.
Yeah.
You caught my eye.
Truebill has over 2 million users and helped them helped save them over $100 million. Like Matthew B., who says, in a matter of seconds, I saved $660 for the year on my DirecTV bill, saved $120 for the year on my SiriusXM bill, and saved $840 a year on car insurance. So those numbers are crazy. Check out Truebill. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/bench. Go right now. Truebill.com/bench. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/bench. All right, it's time to not finish the show, but finish this portion of the show. Marty and I will be on the show a little bit later recapping Wednesday night's games, but our portion with Big Cat here in studio on Wednesday afternoon. So we'll do love, hate, and then beating the buzzer. Big Cat, would you like to start?
Yeah. All right. Love, I'm going to say, it's redundant because we talked about it, but I love the Badgers. I love watching the Badgers. There's something about having a team that's good and feels like they can make a run. It's the best. I also love the fact that I got that value on the Kentucky future. I think this could be like, I don't know. Cal hasn't been in the mix for a while now. I think this Kentucky team could be special. And then my hate, I hate these stupid 3-point streaks that people care about.
Yes.
I think it's the dumbest thing of all time. Arkansas, so if you don't know what I'm talking about last night, Arkansas, very reminiscent of the Nevada days for Musselman, who I loved watching those Nevada teams. I loved it. Like, would
the
bet
Martin
on them.
brothers.
Yes, the best. They would kind of toy around with an inferior opponent in the first half, and they would just absolutely fuck them up in the second half. South Carolina, they're down like 7 in the first half. They end up covering a 12-point spread easily. Like it was basically a replica of those Nevada days
16.
where you're just never out of it because. And I think Arkansas has turned a corner. I've been betting. I think they're 3-0 last 3 against the spread. I've been betting on them. So they win this game. They look like they're turning the corner. And then I see people are fucking complaining about this 3-point streak. Who the fuck cares? A 3-point streak is for losers. Vanderbilt was the team with the 3-point streak. Vanderbilt's losers. That's what they are.
Bad.
Like, who cares how many times in a row you've had one 3-pointer?
So here's
it's not
the
even
streak.
cool.
0 of 11 in this game. It was 1,092 games, first time since 1989. Arkansas didn't make it 3, but they won and they blow them out.
Who cares? That's such a stupid stat.
You can be the worst team in America and just have 1-3.
Yeah,
for
who
every
cares?
Game.
Could you imagine, like, being a fan of a team and having an argument with someone else from another team being like, yeah, but we haven't gone a game without a 3-pointer since 1989. I just be like, okay, that's the biggest loser talk I've ever heard of. See ya. Arkansas has national championships banners in their fucking gym. Yeah. Have pride for that, not 3-point streaks. It is beyond loserdom. Like, I could not believe it, especially after they came back, won, scored, or covered everything. Like, I remember when Vandy's streak got broken. They were a bad team because they're Vandy, and they were just chucking up threes trying to hit it at the end. I'm pretty sure they lost the game because they're Vandy. And it's like, okay, Vandy, I get it. Whatever. Vandy basketball has nothing.
Give them
they can be the 3-point kings.
They have the benches on the baseline.
Right, longest streak ever. Arkansas is a real program. 40 Minutes from Hell was a real thing. I remember it. So, I don't know. I just think that's big-time loser talk.
I agree. I like that one.
Hate it.
Yeah, I like you hate.
Yeah.
Mine. My love is very simple. It's just college basketball at this moment is like when football's winding down, people are really looking at college basketball. You know, I feel like this is when the casuals start coming in. It's like, all right, let me get into fucking college basketball, thinking about it. I hate what Florida State did. Those fucking losers
banner?
putting number 4 of a
That's not new, by the
season.
way.
It's not.
Like,
no.
they put it up
but
last season.
I saw it again. That's you want to talk loser talk? It's the Florida State because I mean, what are we doing? That's like, what is that like Dayton putting up? Fucking, we could have won. It's like, what are we doing?
Number
here,
4
dude?
final ranking.
Putting it canceled is gross.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you probably wouldn't be salty about it if they won. If Duke won.
I think I still would be because that's just still loser talk.
Fair. All right. I love the content, not necessarily the action, the content that came out of John Rothstein getting hacked.
Oh yeah.
That was
Seems
nice.
giving away a PS5.
Yeah.
And then he.
I think you should still give away a PS5.
He was locked out for a few hours, deleted. I think like 2 days worth of tweets got deleted, and then he tweeted, "Getting hacked by your Twitter, the epitome of brutality."
Yep.
Yes.
Brutal.
That was bad.
Yeah, that was tough. And then I hate, Marty mentioned earlier, what AP voter Jesse Newell of the Kansas City Star did this
Scumbag.
week. He ranked Auburn number 9. It was a toss-up between 1 and 2 with Gonzaga. If he ranked Auburn 5th or higher, Auburn would be number 1. But you ranked them 9.
Why? Did you say why?
I don't know if he gave a reasoning, but he's a Kansas beat writer. Maybe he's just salty. I don't know.
He's salty. Yeah, I think he's salty.
In
about-
what world is Auburn 9?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care about the rankings, but they deserve to be number 1. And Gonzaga, you can
At
make
least 2. Like it was a fair debate, 1 or 2.
So what are they right
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
They are 2.
They're 2.
they're 2,
But, like,
okay.
I'm saying no matter what, no one's going to complain about Gonzaga being number 1. But Auburn definitely, their resume is better right now than Gonzaga. Put them 1. That's crazy. And to say 9, you're a scumbag. You're just doing.
Yeah, 9 is just he wants attention.
But we should not give that man that much power.
No.
Should not.
No.
There's what, 66 voters or something?
And
I
they
think
have
it's
one
around
loss,
there.
and it was an insane
Yeah, double
game against
overtime.
Connecticut.
Without, I'm pretty sure Smith did not play in that game. I'm not sure exactly, but it was so long ago. Before we go to beating the buzzer, since we have Dan, I want to do. You say yes or no to Flyers on national championship. 45-1 LSU.
That's value, it seems.
I liked
like,
them
no?
last week. I think I don't know if their offense can do it. Let me look. Hold on. I mean, it's probably value, but their
It's
offense scares me.
I hate saying value because it's like, yeah, of course it is because it's so long.
like-
but it is, yeah, for them
Plus,
right now.
if they get to the Final Four, home games,
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
New Orleans.
Their offense scares me. Their defense is very, very good. I think they're one of those teams that's gonna go through those slumps. And if you go through a slump in a big game, it's like,
Yep.
all right, lights out.
Michigan State 45-1.
I don't hate that just because of Izzo. Like it
Yep.
just gets you to the Final Four.
Michigan State's that much different than Wisconsin?
45, yeah,
And Michigan State just lost to Northwestern.
I know.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And one team I want to actually talk to you about because I've been at UCLA. They're 20-1. What do you actually think of UCLA? Do you not agree that they weren't a good team last year until they got hot?
Well, yeah,
And-
but being
which is-
a tournament team, like a lot of almost all their guys are back. No.
yeah, everyone's back.
Yeah, so then I wouldn't rule them out because I think there's just something about like, last week we talked about how difficult the tournament is. There is also something to be said for tournament teams, tournament coaches like an Izzo or UCLA last year. Like they just, I don't know.
I know. It's just like, can they get that magic again because they weren't that good and they played in a play-in game. People forget they almost lost to Michigan State, right?
Yeah, it
in
was
that
an
play-in
overtime game on the first
yes,
floor.
and I mean they got really hot. Like credit to them. I just don't.
You've been off them the whole year.
I have. I mean they haven't really. They beat Villanova, right? That's it. That's like pretty much their biggest win,
Yeah, they beat Villanova on opening week, and
which is also opening week.
Marquette and Colorado are meh wins.
Yeah, and they lost to Oregon.
Oregon and smoked by Gonzaga.
Yeah.
And they still had a COVID pause a few weeks ago. But yeah, by the way, follow up on Jesse Newell. He says he's ranking them by the best teams, and he thinks on a neutral court, the 8 teams ahead of him would be favored over Auburn.
That's just not true.
This is so stupid.
Wait, where do you have Wisconsin?
Hold on.
Yeah, because
Wisconsin wouldn't be favored over Auburn on
No
a neutral
chance.
court. No way.
That guy's a moron. I'd love to have him on and ask his stupid ass opinion.
He has Wisconsin 23.
Oh, okay. So then this
He's one of
This
those
guy's an asshole.
what are his top 8?
Gonzaga, Baylor, Villanova, Houston, Arizona, Purdue, Kentucky, Kansas.
This scumbag didn't even have Duke. Where's he have Duke?
Dude, that's Duke at 10.
Get this guy on.
This guy's an idiot.
I want him on and just ruin him. How does this guy get a vote? That's what's so stupid.
Crazy.
Wisconsin,
Wisconsin at
that's like me
23.
and Bosco ranking Wisconsin.
Yeah. Speaking of, should we talk about Alabama?
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is.
Well, we'll talk about it later in the show, but we can
this is
preview
insane
time
to me
travel.
that, I've never
LSU.
seen anyone be more blinded by a coach and blinded by
Niceness.
yeah, like, oh, look at the sets they run. Alabama's so flawed. They might not make the tournament. And Bosco spent an entire 3 months this year leading everyone to slaughter.
It's with all the again, they have no presence really inside. Their defense is spotty, and Quinterly and Shackelford, that's all you got. And it's not like they're really taking over teams. And what are they, 4 games in a row they've lost?
Well, we'll talk
this?
right now. It's 3. If they lose to LSU, it's 4.
Jesus Christ! I mean, you're right. If they lose this, they are. I don't think they're in the tournament.
No, I think they have
Maybe
wins against Gonzaga and Houston.
I guess, but I mean, there's some bad losses in there.
Mizzou is bad. Iona is. Marty's going to kill
Iona's
me.
a bad
Iona's
loss.
not a terrible
If
loss.
you are a
they might
good
get an
team,
at-large.
You're losing to Iona is not a good win.
They're
It's an
15
okay
and
win.
3.
But when you're Alabama, you have to beat Iona.
Of
That's what I'm saying.
course. But it's not a loss that'll keep them out, I don't think.
They also have a
resume.
stretch coming up in late January and February where they have to play Baylor, Auburn, Kentucky,
Yeah.
at Mississippi, Arkansas and Mississippi State, and then Kentucky again.
And that's at Auburn, right?
That's at Auburn.
Yeah.
That's going to be. They
That's
have
bad.
to win. They basically have to win the next 3. I think if they
Right.
win the next 3,
Because they have Mizzou and Georgia after tonight.
Right.
They're
But
-4 tonight too. I don't even want to touch it. It's like scary.
I gotta look at it. I gotta dig into it.
Yeah, you gotta get in the lab.
I gotta dig into it
Yeah.
right now.
All right, let's wrap up this portion of the show with beating the buzzer. We hit on the majority of the game, so it'll be a shorter version today. All right, 3, 2, 1. Syracuse 91, Clemson 78. Buddy Boeheim and George Gerard combined for 48 points. They shoot like that, they can win at Cameron on Saturday.
I just like betting Syracuse overs.
because they can get hot.
And they don't play defense. There's
No,
no suck.
at
So I don't
all.
know why it doesn't work.
Are you nervous, Marty?
No, I'm not. After you, if we won that game, I'd be nervous. You're gonna get smoked.
That would be something. I'm expecting Syracuse to lose, but that would be something if they pulled it off.
I don't think it'd be fun.
I think it would be. Number 24, Tennessee 68, Vanderbilt 60. This was a mandatory win for Tennessee. They
Yeah.
could not have
A little
lost.
dicey.
I
at
had
one point.
Vandy plus 6.5. It sucked. They just
Oh,
missed free throws.
shit.
Or Tennessee hit free throws. Vandy couldn't get like that
That was the
garbage
right pick,
time
though.
bucket. Yeah, they were down like 3 with a minute left. It just yeah.
Yeah. Number 25, UConn 76, Butler 59. The Huskies are 12-4, and their schedule is light. Butler again, Georgetown, DePaul, Creighton.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this game because I bet on this game. I had UConn. It's sad that Butler's just bad.
They're
they are
bad,
really
bad.
bad. And why? That's a team you want to be good because of tradition and everything. Indiana. What's their future like? Because they've been bad for a few years now.
They're
right?
9-8 right now. Laval Jordan is in his 5th season. 2020 was canceled. They were 22-9, so maybe make the tournament
Okay.
there. And then under 500. And then 2018 they made the second round in his first
Yeah,
season.
no, they
there.
have not been good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they just came out of nowhere, and Brad Stevens. Now they're expecting just to be good because of those 2 tournament
Well, I
runs.
mean, they're in a good basketball conference
Yeah.
too, and so you got to compete.
Of course. Michigan 83, Maryland 64. Hunter Dickinson's back. Michigan's back. If this is the beginning of their run, I mean, they have to go on a run.
I don't know.
I don't know what to say about them.
Yeah, I don't know what that was last night. By the way,
mean,
Maryland's
looked,
bad.
Maryland looked
Maryland's bad.
really bad though. It wasn't even close. But do you think they have any chance of turning around Michigan?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many games in the Big Ten. You
Yes.
win 5 or
No,
6
I
in a
know,
row.
but
You're
they've
back on the
also we've
bubble.
been waiting and waiting and waiting, and they have not done it.
Right. I mean, they had the COVID pause.
Illinois doesn't count.
They
That
can't
was-
lose to
Dickinson wasn't
Minnesota at
playing.
home by 10.
No,
a
that's
month
what
ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then at Rutgers, too. And lastly, the Atlantic 10. Davidson, it's their conference to lose, in my opinion. They beat VCU by 2, a winning streak of 14 games, which I believe is the longest in college basketball. Yeah, they haven't lost since November 18th. And then St. Bonaventure gets run out of the gym by Dayton by 18.
Bonnies
Yeah.
stink.
The Bonnies were the overwhelming favorite. They had those 5 senior
no
starters,
depth,
no
yeah.
depth, no bench.
They generally have 5 players. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Davidson, good for them.
Yeah,
Bob
no,
McCullough,
Davidson's been
15
playing
and 2. Yeah, so we'll wrap up the show. Big Cat, thanks again.
Of course.
We'll be back next Thursday.
Good show.
Yes.
Good show.
Ready to go.
All right, so Marty and I will time travel a little bit. We'll recap Wednesday's
Wait,
games.
next Thursday we'll be previewing the Big 12 SEC Challenge, right?
Yes.
I love that Saturday.
Yes.
I love that random Saturday.
Baylor,
It's one of my
Bama.
favorite random Saturdays.
West Virginia, Arkansas.
Oh, I
A
love
lot
it.
of friends of the
good.
program
That's good.
in that.
In Auburn, Kentucky, right? No,
That's this Saturday.
That's SEC, you idiot.
All right, before we get into our Wednesday recap, we want to remind you that this podcast, the Barstool Bench Mob, is brought to you by Bird Dogs. Go to birddogs.com and use promo code BENCH.
Did you get your box?
I got my box
I got
today.
my bo- I got
I'm
my
going to bring it
box.
home today, and I'm going to wear it the rest of this week.
The box, good box,
Great color.
good
It's
color.
like a salmon color.
I got 2 pairs of shorts that are like wild, which I love, and I got 2 joggers. The joggers are comfortable as fuck.
They make your legs look good too, don't they?
Yeah, dude. I got good legs, Jake, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But Bird Dogs, great name.
Yeah.
But the only thing I give a fuck about, comfort. Great, most comfortable shorts. I love them. So thank you, Bird Dogs, for sending it to us because I wore them last night, to be honest.
Absolutely. So Bird Dogs has plenty of comfortable clothes, and get ready for this. One of the best podcast promos we've ever had. Go to birddogs.com, enter promo code BENCH, and they'll throw in a free Bird Dogs whistle football.
It's so funny of like how they know their customers because
Yeah.
Bird Dogs mostly it's like us. It's perfect ad for people that listen to this podcast. But like at that point I wouldn't even care about the clothes. I just want the football. And
Right.
like, that's how dumb we are, and that's how smart Bird Dogs is. So go get your football.
Yeah, you remember those Nerf Vortex Howler footballs that whistle when you throw them? Well, it's that. It's the best for tailgates. That
Guy here thought he could throw it 100 yards.
Who?
Malasek.
Really?
Or was either
One of our
50
social
or no, I
media
think he said he
guys.
could go 100. It's not even close. Like it's hard to throw those things.
Yeah. That's birddogs.com, promo code BENCH, and boom, a free Bird Dogs football with your pair of Bird Dogs. You will not take these things off. We promise you. All right, Wednesday recap.
All right, we're back. It is Wednesday, late night, after what was a solid slate, Marty. Of course, entering it, Alabama LSU was the only big game that stuck out. A lot more happened to it, and we'll get to that a little bit. But let's start off with that Alabama LSU game. There's 2 ways to think of this. A, Alabama picked up what was a must win. B, Alabama failed to close the game. They missed 4 free throws in a row, or 5, and they're lucky LSU didn't make one more 3. How are you looking at it?
I mean, you got to give credit no matter what. It's against LSU, who's been a better team as of late than Alabama. But I think you almost see it in these guys where it's like they knew it was a big game, you know, like it almost like their flaws were coming out because they would like the pressure was getting to them almost, and it's scary to watch. But no matter what, they won the game. So what can you really say? But it was as an Alabama guy who had -4 tonight, I wanted to choke all of them.
Yeah, and I think it kind of is to Rico's benefit that he's not on the show right now with Big Cat, because if you saw Big Cat's tweets, he's blaming this failed cover on him, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, he definitely is. I think you almost have to. It is Rico's fault. He's hyped up this team too much. This Alabama team probably reads all Rico's tweets before their games, before the season. Like, holy shit, we're going to win the national championship.
Yeah, so look, Alabama needed the win. You saw Nate Oates post-game. He looked relieved. All he cares about is the win. He doesn't care about anyone's -4. And we talked about it earlier in the show. They had to win this game because you have Missouri and Georgia next. Those are must-wins as well. And then the gauntlet of Baylor, Auburn, Kentucky comes after that. So this was – look, they have good wins in the conference. Tennessee, Florida, LSU. Tennessee and Florida are fine wins. This obviously is a big one. But the non-conference resume is going to give them a lot more cushion that no matter how bad they are these next few weeks.
I mean, Gonzaga is going to probably not lose the rest of the season, maybe once.
Yeah.
And so that's going to
Same with Houston, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. So those 2 wins right there, which will help them a lot because Houston probably won't go down the rankings much, and Gonzaga probably won't either. So that'll help them. But I mean, go long term though, you're not excited to see you're not like, oh, Alabama's going to make a deep run, which I'm not saying they can't because they have the talent, but it's not coming together right now.
No, for sure. And again, short term, yes, big win at home, but 7 of 34 from 3. miss 11 free throws. I don't know. I mean, their defense, obviously, I don't know. The number 10 offense, number 50 defense. It's fine. Like, they didn't wow me, but
Who
they
you
got the
talking
win
about?
against the rank
Alabama.
They didn't wow me.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
They did what they
didn't wow
needed
me
to
at
do.
all. But LSU, I still think both LSU. I'm not. It's a road loss. Like you can't do too much. That's 2 in a row now, though, right?
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to ask you next. After the Arkansas upset, you said this does nothing to you for LSU. You said it's just one loss to a team that needed it more desperately. Now, does your mind change, or you still stand pat on LSU?
It's a little. It's still not like taking me off LSU. I don't think LSU. I think they got hot at the right moment when everyone kind of like, oh shit, LSU's for real, and then it's kind of coming to fruition now. But I still think they're a really good team because of their defense and, but yeah, I'm not too worried. Are you worried about LSU?
The only reason why I'm not is because they're banged up. Pinson's out.
That's what I'm saying. Like doing this all without Pinson is like that's what's kind of making me like, oh, they're actually just pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, when they went on that stretch of beating Kentucky, Tennessee, Florida, I mean that helps them a ton.
Right. And Darius Days, their other starter, senior, he got hurt in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Will Wade says, when asked about Darius Days' injury, Wade said they'll know more when they get back on campus, but that it doesn't appear to be terrible. He said, quote, we're going to be so much better off from all of this when we have everybody back. So that's the only reason why I'm not bringing out the panic button on LSU because, look, they had those big wins against Kentucky, Tennessee, and Florida, 3 in a row. Pinson's been out for a while. They won at Florida without him. So when they get those guys back, I mean, they have a pretty favorable slate. Tennessee, A&M, TCU, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, A&M, Mississippi State, Georgia, South Carolina.
It's favorable.
That is favorable. They have because they end with Kentucky, Mizzou, Arkansas, Bama. So I think LSU certainly, if they go get those guys back, they can go on a 7-game winning streak or so. And but again, much more important for Alabama. They needed this one badly, and they got the job done. Major upset of the night, and Marty, you're going to be dancing on Villanova fans' graves for this one. Biggest upset in college basketball today. It is Marquette 57, number 11 Villanova 54.
Which is, first of all, our only luck because our benchmark parlay was Kentucky who won, Alabama who won, and then fucking Villanova, the one you weren't worried about, loses. I mean, Jake, you can't fault me when I say this, but all right, let's look at the box score. 5 points off the bench. Daniels played 27 minutes off the bench. The rest of the bench played 6. That's a problem.
It is. We talked about it with St. Bonaventure earlier. But yeah, it's
problem
putting all your
also
chips on the table for this one.
2 is Gillespie is not always going to score 25. Like, he's your best player, sure, but he scores 10, and you got Marquette beating you. And I'm going to say something. Marquette, I'm not necessarily saying they're that good, but I have to respect them.
Better than we thought.
I have to respect them. Beating Seton Hall and Villanova back-to-back.
Yeah. I mean, and at Villanova. That was the first time ever they won in that building. Ever.
I know.
Marquette and Villanova have been the Big East forever, no?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. It's crazy. How does that even make sense, honestly?
Finneran Pavilion.
Bro, right now, Marquette's resume, beating the shit out of Providence, then beating Seton Hall, and then beating Villanova, they're in the tournament.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Big East, they're sneaky. Like, we talk about SEC, Big 12, and the Big East isn't on their level. But in terms of depth, they might get just as many or close to the amount of tournament teams. I just don't think there's as many tournament championship caliber teams, right? But
no. Yeah, like I'm not like saying Marquette's going to go out there and make the Final Four.
Right. But the fact that they really had no expectations, it was a rebuild with a new coach.
Is Shaka a good coach?
Yes, I just think it's the environment for him, right? At Texas, that's one of the biggest athletic programs out there. All eyes are on you. Marquette, it's in Milwaukee. It's a major sports market. They have Giannis. They have Aaron Rodgers. Like, it's not center stage. In Austin, it's center stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're talking about this. I can't. Creighton too. What the fuck?
St. John's.
Beat the piss out of them.
Weren't they your conference pick, preseason pick?
No, mine's Seton Hall.
Didn't you have something St. John's? Did you have Champagny Player of the Year or
Maybe
Anderson Coach of the Year?
Maybe Champagny.
Yeah, but wow. Creighton blows out St. John's 87-64.
Josh Alexander isn't as good as I thought on offense.
They just have that issue, similar to Texas, where there's so many guys coming in. It just seems like the chemistry isn't there.
Yeah, it
I
just
don't know.
doesn't seem like it's there. It just seems like Champagny's really good, and then the rest is
Yeah. Meanwhile, Providence, they're in the middle of that COVID pause. They're loving all this chaos.
I love it. It's great for them.
They're the only team with one loss in the conference, 14-2 overall. They're in first place by themselves again.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So Coach Cooley, the big dog, is loving that. All right. So we waited to record this portion of the podcast until the Kentucky-Texas A&M game ended. So
Oh my god.
Kentucky 64, Texas A&M 58. That was ugly, but on the road, Texas A&M's a good team this year. Calipari, I was watching his post-game interview after the game. He's like, I'm taking off this headset, and we are getting out of here.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a win's a win. They won an ugly game. They should have not won at all. They played like shit too. Their leading scorer had 12 points. But let me ask you a question, Jake. You take a test, right?
Yeah.
And the teacher comes back, your heart's racing like, oh fuck, I don't know how I did. And you got a 4.5%. Would you be upset about that?
The fact that Texas A&M
1
in
of
this game-
22 from 3, dude. 1 of 22. And
Do
they
you
were
think
winning. And they
if
were winning the whole game.
Me, you, Big Cat, PFT, and Rico were the 5 on the floor. We would do better than 1 of 22, or we go
Yes,
over
1,000%.
against Kentucky.
Yes. We could hit 2.
You think we could hit 2? I feel like we could hit 2
on accident.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, 1 of 22 is hard to do. And seriously, though, they were winning that entire game. Like, they should have won. That's how bad Kentucky was playing, too. I don't think Kentucky's bad. I think that happens. You're on the road and shit, and they just had an off night. But winning on an off night shows also toughness as well towards the end of the game. Like, Ty Washington was playing awful, but he had a big 3 down the stretch.
Yeah, and also Severe Wheeler's been struggling. 8 turnovers for this one. And Texas A&M did a good job with Shibwe. He's been putting up video game-like numbers these last few games, it seems like. 8 points, 14 rebounds, which for Shibwe metrics is not much.
14 rebounds, still fucking crazy. But
Yeah.
also, like, what was I going to say? What was it? Oh, yeah, like Kentucky, I mean, they shot 22% from 3. It's not like they have anything to shine about. Like, I watched most of the game because I was watching something else before. The second half was disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, it was what? It was they don't have the full numbers up yet. 64-58. Kentucky, yeah, that's by far the least amount they've had in a win. They've scored in the 70s in 3 wins, 76, 77, 78. With 64, I mean, look, they're the number 4 offense. I don't know, but you can't really break down the numbers when it's a road conference game. You win, you get out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not every game is going to be fucking awesome. It kind of it was a good game because of how bad it was, but it was just they were both kind of an off night. And Texas Tech's not like a slouch at home.
A&M.
I mean A&M, same shit.
Yeah, I mean Buzz Williams, he's doing a heck of a job. I think no one's really put a judgment on them yet because they really haven't beaten anybody. Arkansas is a good win.
They've beaten who they've had to beat.
Yeah, I mean, no, in conference they've had a soft start because they had Georgia, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Mizzou, Kentucky, but their non-conference they were 11-2, and their best win is Notre Dame. I'll knock them off the list here. They beat North Florida, Abilene Christian, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, Houston Baptist, New Orleans, Northwestern State, and Central Arkansas. That's the bulk of their non-conference, and then they lost to Wisconsin and the Maui, TCU by 4, and Kentucky. So, look, they have Arkansas and LSU next. If they can get one of those, people will continue to think they're for real.
Yep.
So that was a good game in the SEC. Also, a quick SEC note. Florida 80, Mississippi State 72. No Castleton. And, unfortunately, Mike White said in the postgame, it's a serious one.
Oh, fuck.
So we don't have the details, but Colin Castleton was my pick for SEC Player of the Year. He is one of the best players in the conference. And if he's out for a long period of time, the Gators are probably – it's going to be tough to make the tournament.
For sure.
So I see that he was sidelined tonight, injured his shoulder in practice on Tuesday, leads Gators in scoring, rebounding, and blocks. I don't know. I mean,
still a great win though without him.
Oh, 100%. And I tweeted this out. Both of these teams could easily be on the bubble together on Selection Sunday. This could be viewed as a kind of a tiebreaker, right?
Yeah, probably. It definitely can. Mississippi, they're a weird team, man.
Yeah. I mean, they're not bad. They have a win against Alabama, Arkansas. I don't know, 12-5.
They were in that game too. Like it was right at the end.
Yeah. The last 10 minutes, the Gators outscored them 27-13.
Yeah. It's not good.
So, yeah. So that's the SEC, and also Auburn smoked Georgia. Saturday.
Yeah, they did.
Kentucky, Auburn. Quick little prediction. It's 1:30 at Auburn. CBS.
Oh, at Auburn. Auburn wins. I mean, the only thing I don't like that Kentucky has played that shitty game. Everyone's gonna watch that. It's like, oh. But I'm happy they won. If they lost that game, it would have been a brutal one. But I think Auburn takes it. I think the spread's going to be 5.
Really? I think it'll be like 2.5, 3.
We'll see. I mean, Auburn is fucking rolling, dude. I know they played Georgia, but still.
Your boy KenPom has Auburn winning by 2. Yeah. Anyways.
I still want that scumbag on the show. I don't even care who wants attention. I want to have a debate being like, you say they have the best resume, but right now you don't really know. What the fuck does that mean?
Right. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but I'm glancing off at my TV right now, and I'm looking at the highlights of Iowa Rutgers.
Bro.
48-46. A reach-in foul to end the game. You see that? Yeah,
I saw that. I caught the end of it because I was watching a lot of it, and it was so bad. Like, it was so bad. And but the ending, you can't – I don't care. You can't end that game on that. You just simply can't.
And they got a good look on the full-court pass.
Yeah, they did. But, I mean, Keegan Murray just didn't – I mean, if Keegan Murray scores 13 points, they're just not going to go. And Bohannon Bohannon doesn't play well at Rutgers. I can tell you that.
No one does. It's the rack.
No, I know, but he was 2 of 11. He was 2 of 10 from 3.
Yeah, that's unlike him.
I know. He'll figure it out, but that's and also Iowa 0 points off the bench.
You love calling out lack of bench production.
No, but they had a bench, but I do love call on the bench. But 0 points, dude.
Yeah, but when your team scores 46,
13. This is a box score game. 13-11, 8-8-6. That's like 25.
No.
Yeah, it's about there.
13-11 is already 24.
Exactly.
At 8-8-6. Yeah, so that was ugly. I would love to go to a game at the rack one day.
Yeah, I would too. Sure,
let's go to a game to Iowa too. Big Cat earlier called his shot. TCU +5. They lost by 1 to Oklahoma State, but he hit.
Good call. Yeah, I took him. Big Cat seeing the board. I took him. I really am. Like, he gets in this little lab after every day, and he sits at his desk and doesn't talk for like 20 minutes, and then he goes, "What do you guys like?" and doesn't really listen to us, but he does listen, and I took it too. I was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely taking that."
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Wake smokes Georgia Tech. I think Wake.
Right now, I'm gonna be honest. DePaul has the ball with 22 seconds left, down 1 to Xavier.
That would be a tough one for Xavier.
That'd be tough. I mean, thank God for our boy
FS1.
Nunji. He's got 23 points right now. I won't lie. I knew you had a talk to the remote thing.
Oh, for 3. Oh no! DePaul
What?
misses. Xavier wins, but the fan put his hand up in the middle of the shot.
The fan?
Like the camera shot.
Oh,
He was blocking the hoop.
you couldn't see it.
No, but I saw it rim in and out, but Xavier's won. DePaul
Wow.
missed the 3 at the buzzer.
Hey, DePaul's frisky this year.
Yeah.
They're frisky.
They beat Seton Hall. They're 1-6 in the conference.
They're just frisky. I'm not saying that's not a good. They're just they can hang with some people.
Yeah. Okay, so Xavier survives. You got Xavier in the points?
No, I didn't even bet that game. I was just watching because I saw Nunji, and Nunji had 23.
Yeah. So ACC, quickly, Virginia Tech beats NC State by 3, but I was saying Wake, they smoked Georgia Tech. So right now, what? The only teams remotely with a chance to make the NCAA tournament in the ACC are Duke, UNC, Miami, Florida State, Wake.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's no way all 5 make it, right?
I don't know. I mean, and then what? Virginia won tonight. Do they have any shot?
Virginia's up 5 with 2 minutes left at Pitt. So this will put them, if they win this, 11-7 and 5-3 in the ACC.
So probably not. I mean, we still got a long way to go. But yeah,
As of now.
those 5. Yeah, those 5 right now.
Yeah, as of now. So yeah, Saturday is going to be awesome in the ACC. Saturday's a great slate. Miami, Florida State, Duke, Syracuse, obviously Kentucky, Auburn.
What time's Duke Syracuse?
Noon.
Oh, I love that.
Start
Before the football games. Let's
Yep.
go.
Yeah. So yeah, by the way, Saturday, 7 p.m. ESPN 3, Vermont, Hartford. I'll be up there this weekend on the call. Go ahead and tune in. Vermont 4-0
Cool.
in the conference. They are they're 4 wins. Their average margin of victory is 23 points. They're smoking teams.
I love that, Jake. Good for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Also,
So tune in.
Kentucky Auburn at 1's awesome too.
Yeah, I love the day games. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Tonight, Indiana, Purdue with our guy Stefanovic. Friday, Michigan State, Wisconsin. It's gonna be awesome. Also, keep your eyes out for the registration for the Bench Mob Invitational 3-on-3 tournament. We spoke to Lisa, who's in charge.
We're pretty much set up right now, so
Yes.
you better be ready for it.
We're just waiting on the green light to open registration, hopefully in the next week or 2. So I'd say definitely by the beginning of February, we'll get that going. So start talking to your friends, get some teams together. I think it's going to be up to 6 guys on a team, guys or girls, six players on a team. 6 or 7, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think we said we'll go up to 7.
Yeah, so 6 or 7 players. You're guaranteed to play at least 3 games in pool play. If you get out of pool play, you get more games. Plus, your registration will come with 2 meals, a drink ticket, and a ticket to the watch after party for the first 4 with us.
Yep, you get your jersey. It's one of the cheapest events, and if you don't do it, you're crazy. Take off. It's Tuesday. All fun.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So keep that open on your calendar. Tuesday, March 15th, all day, all night. Best time of year coming up quickly. So That's all I got. Anything you got, Marty?
No, it's a good episode. Very good episode. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, thanks again to Sasha Stefanovic of Purdue. Thanks again to Big Cat. We may have a 3rd co-host Monday, still in the works. But
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, everyone, enjoy. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the games this weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.